The winner of this game between Michigan State and Indiana has been presented the old Brass Spittoon, a trophy that was initiated by the junior and senior classes by the MSU Student Council at Michigan State. They sold it to the Indiana folks, and since that time, it's been an ongoing event. And right now, Michigan State comes in leading the series for the Brass Spittoon. 39 wins, 12 losses, 1 tie. And one of the persons that was very instrumental in making all of this happen is on the phone with us right now. It's Gene McDermott. And Gene, good afternoon, and how you doing?
Good.
Well, can you
Watching
give us
Michigan State ahead here, finally.
Well, that's a good thing. Can you give us a little background on how this whole trophy started and what led you and your classmates to think that this was a good idea?
Well, we had just come off a victory in 1950 with beating Notre Dame, and everyone was afraid of a big letdown with Indiana. And I know Coach Biggie Munn was even afraid of a letdown, too. So I thought maybe a trophy might generate some spirit. And we went out looking because we only had a couple of days, and went to an antique shop in Lansing and found an old spittoon there. I was with Virginia O'Brien, a class secretary. And we decided on that one because it'd be good because it was over 100 years old at that time. And it was in a frontier town called the Ackley Trading Post. It was in Northtown, which is now called East Lansing. But I was president of the class at the time, so I had to be the spokesperson. So I called Don Kerr, at junior class president at Indiana, and then we telegrammed each other, and we got together with Don Eisler, who was the president of the student body. I hope both of these guys are around. We contacted them, and we exchanged the trophy through telegrams, and that was about it. The only thing that I remember that was really important, we were trying to figure out how to present it because being 100 years old at the time, we didn't have any money to buy a to rent a hay wagon. So we settled for my roommate Bill Wiener's 21-year-old Model A Ford. That was the oldest thing we had. And the spittoon was some 75 years older than the car. So that's about it.
Well, Gene, when you went to Coach Biggie Munn and said, hey, I got a great idea to get everybody fired up, we're going to give away this old Brass Spittoon, what was his reaction?
Oh, he was happy. He wanted me to see if I could get a smaller version to award to player, most valuable player. But we didn't have time, and there was no internet then, so we couldn't, absolutely get anything. So I told him that, and he was happy though. But the fun was going into the Indiana locker room, Michigan State locker rooms. And went into the Indiana locker room, and their coach, Cy Smith, held the trophy up for the team, and there was absolutely no response, like it was going to a wake. And they didn't cheer or anything. And so then I took it over to Biggie Munn. He held it up and gave it a pep talk, and there was a huge roar from the team. They went out. They were ready to do battle. And they did. They beat them 35-0, which was great. It was a great game, great memory.
Oh, yeah, and of course, Michigan State has had their share of winning the Brass Spittoon. We're speaking with Gene McDermott, who was part of the class of 1950 that got this trophy game going. 52.
Yeah, I was president, junior class president in 1950.
So let me ask you this. What are you up to now?
I'm retired and just living here watching football.
Well, that's not the worst thing to do, is it?
It's in Allentown, Pennsylvania. No, it's the best thing. Actually, it's great.
Well, Gene, I sure appreciate you spending some time with us. It's a great story, and it's a lot of fun to think back to how all these traditions started, isn't it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. It's one of my fond memories. In fact, my two former roommates, Bill Wiener, the guy that owned the Model A Ford, and Dick Lang he's from Grand Rapids, sent me a trophy, a copy of this Brass Spittoon on my 80th birthday 3 years ago, which I treasure.
Well, Gene, I sure appreciate your time and good fortune, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot.
There you go. Comments from Gene McDermott, part of the underclassmen who got going with this tradition of presenting to the winner of this game between Michigan State and Indiana, the Brass Spittoon, something that began way back in 1950. We're at the halftime break, and it's Michigan State leading Indiana in a shootout, 27-22. Back with more in a moment from Bloomington right here on the Spartan Network.